Hey, this is ReadFreak7, and I'm going to be doing a video on Hovercraft today. So this is a hovercraft I've been building. Thanks to one of the commenters on my first video, he suggested I do a wishbone suspension with the sway bar that I showed off. Sadly, that didn't really work out too well in testing, so I decided let's use it for something else, and this is what I decided on. So let's get into it. Let me get rid of this. Cool. I'm gonna need some concrete. And let's get started. Okay. So we're gonna start off by making a nice 4-wide platform for our seat. And we're going to build this up. Let's go 4 blocks. So on these lower 4, we're gonna put 4 bearings. Dang it, I made that off center. Whoopsies. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Let me get some pipes out. Let's go there. Okay, we need that, we need that, and that should be it. Cool, let me, oh yeah, I will need bearings as well, welding tool, and suspension, if I can find it. There it is. Oopsies. Okay, cool. So, on each of these, we're going to put a corner piece, like that. We're going to build this guy out 3 or 4 blocks. Yeah, 4. Then on the 4th block, we're going to... Dang it, I keep rotating it wrong. Dang it! There, we're going to put it like that. And then here we're just going to build it out to the same length. Let's build it out one past each of these, and then we'll put that and that with a bearing on each. Okay, so here we're going to put a bearing. We're going to build that going up, and have a suspension going up off of that. I built this wrong here. Let me get concrete. So let's... No, that's... Yeah, it's a little bit high. Yeah, that should be good. Cool. Now let's put a bearing here. Then we can do that, and that connects both of those, so that should be all good. Yeah, should be good. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. Cool. Okay. Again, we're going to do the same thing on this side, so that. Now this part is double wishbone suspension. The second part of this is going to be the hovercraft part, but we're not there quite yet. I want to get the suspension done first. Dang, my keyboard got stuck. Cool. So that should be good on those. Now let's build it out like that. Okay, on the ends of these 2 bearings on both sides, we're going to put one of those going up, and then like that. And we're going to weld those together. Oh, whoops. Cool. Let's do the same thing on the other side now. Oh, whoops. Cool. That should be good. Dang. There we go. Cool. Oh, crap. I put that on the wrong side. Oopsies. Cool. Now we'll do the same thing again. This is really repetitive at this point. A lot of this will be, so if you need to skip ahead, you can do that. Cool. Did I weld that? Nope, not perfect. Oh, dang it, I did it again. Cool. And yeah, and that. If this video ends up going too long, I'll make a second one on the hovercraft part. I may not be able to fit them both in the same video. We'll see though. Okay, so now let's build this out like we did on the other one on both sides. That, and that, and that, and that. Okay, so that's the double wishbone suspension done on both sides. I can't really show it off because there's no wheels or anything on it, but I don't have a lift. Cool. Okay, let's go back to my first hotbar. Okay. Now let's, we should be good on both parts in this video. Okay, yeah, let's grab that instead of, oh goodness, I need all of this. Now we'll get that later. Okay. So we'll put down a seat in the middle. Then on the front end here, we're going to do some suspension glitch steering because I don't want to use a bunch of thrusters. Cool. And I can tie that directly into here now. Let's take this off and see if it's in the right direction. It is. It'll be better once it's hovering. It's got a lot of friction in this position. Okay. Now let's get those pipes back out. I'm going to need thrusters. I shouldn't need the welding tool. And I'm going to need sensors. Cool. So on top of here, let's go like that. We'll put one of these guys. If I can rotate it, yep. One of these guys like that. And on each end of this, we'll put two of those. So on this inside one, I'm going to put a sensor. On this one, I'm going to put a thruster like that. And let me get out connection tool, sorry. Yep. And we'll connect those up. I'm going to put this, yeah, leave that on 10. That's what usually works pretty well in my testing. Okay, that should be it on that. And we're going to put this down to, I think, 2. We can adjust that later. So we're going to do that on all 4 corners. So if you need to skip ahead, go ahead. I don't have any fancy editing software, so we're just going to build it all in one take. And if it doesn't work, I'll be embarrassed. Oh, there we go. Inside on all of these. And then thruster like I showed before, like that. Yep, and we'll connect all these up, set these all to 2. Wrong one. Okay, so you'll notice with this when I drop it, yeah, those thrusters aren't powerful enough to actually lift the vehicle, and that's fine. Oh, one thing I forgot to show on camera. Let's go to all these suspension. They're a little glitched out, but they're fine. Set them all to the lowest setting. The suspension helps dampen the impact when the thrusters go off, so you won't get as bouncy of a creation. Okay, so we got that. Now, since these thrusters aren't powerful enough to lift off, we're going to give some other... Obviously, we could increase the power of those thrusters, but we're not going to do that because that would increase the bounciness as well. So we're going to add some thrusters to kind of dampen the amount needed to get it off the ground. We're just going to put 4 of these around the center on a switch. You can use whatever block you want for this, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, that and like that. Okay, let me get out some buttons and switches. Okay, shouldn't need those anymore. Cool. So we're going to want 1 button and 1 switch. Cool. So each one's going to go in, do the switch first and the button second. That's just easier to control. So the switch, run it into all 4 of these thrusters. And set all of these thrusters to 2. Cool. And then the button is, oh yeah, I haven't gotten to the button quite yet. We're going to use that for our reverse. So we're going to put a thruster there, and we'll tie it into the button. Now this thing's pretty heavy, so we're going to want to set this one like 1 from the top, or max if you really want to. On the back, I'm going to put a thruster on maximum, and I can just tie that directly into the seat. And that actually should be it. Let's test it out. So when I flip the switch, it should start to hover. Okay, I might need a little more power. Yeah, it's... Let's give it a little bit more power on these front thrusters. Okay. Cool. Now that's hovering. Cool. So, how you set these thrusters will really just depend on how heavy your creation is in certain spots. This isn't dimensioned exactly as the first one I built, so it may be a little bit different. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please leave a like. Yeah. See ya some other time.